Good evening. You are watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. In a new station, exhibition of Message of Islam from Oman is inaugurated in Washington. A press conference on Sultan Qaboos Award for Culture, Arts and Literature is held in Tunisia. And the Sultanate's refineries and petroleum industries production increases by 3% as of the end of May 2019. Those were the headlines. Now for the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos sent a cable of greetings to His Excellency President Felix Tshisekedi of the Republic of Congo on the occasion of his country's independence anniversary. In a new station, exhibition of Message of Islam from Oman was inaugurated in the United States capital, Washington. The exhibition, which was hosted by Sultan Qaboos Center for Culture, witnessed a huge attendance from members of the embassies and the diplomatic missions in the U.S., in addition to university students and American citizens.
Lyndon Johnson once said that art is a nation's most precious heritage, for it is in our works of art that we reveal to ourselves and to others the inner vision which guides us as a nation. The Sultanate of Oman is also using art to express its message of acceptance. The Sultan Qaboos Cultural Center in Washington, D.C. is hosting its summer exhibition titled Tolerance, Understanding, Coexistence, Oman's Message of Islam.
As Omanis, we seek to know and understand others, and we are accepting of others' faith. Religious freedom is protected under the basic law of Oman. Moreover, His Majesty Sultan Qaboos bin Said Al Said is staunchly opposed to any attempts to twist Islam for political or malevolent purposes.
I think this is a wonderful exhibit. It also gives us a feel for Omani culture, which is different and unique, so that's excellent.
The exhibition, which aims to continue a long tradition of intercultural dialogue, includes sand art, paintings, and calligraphy workshop, all promoting mutual respect and understanding among nations and cultures.
I combine nature and scriptures to convey the message, but I don't make things obvious. I intertwine the patterns and the letters so I can capture the viewer to look at the whole painting rather than to read and then move to the next one.
The exhibit's been very well done, very impressive. I think art is a very good vehicle to transcend cultures because every culture uses art, and even if you don't particularly know another language, art is a way that you can connect with other cultures. I think specifically with Arab countries and America, art is one way, specifically because language is not one we share. Not the English language and Arabic language are very, very different. But the art that we like to enjoy is also very, very similar. So that's a great way to share it.
I've had a great time at this exhibit tonight, and I feel as though it really gives a good insight to Oman, which maybe a lot of people in America don't know as much about. You see the architecture, you see beautiful, unique arts like a sand artist, for example. I've never seen that before, and I think art is so important because it's really a universal form of communication. People all across the world, different languages, different religions, different identities can all enjoy a painting or enjoy watching someone create sand art or, anything like that. And so I do think it's a great way to bring people together and, and to educate people about Oman. And I'm sure there are tons of people in the room now who, would love to go there or to learn more or, try some Omani food or, anything like that. And so I think it's very successful.
The exhibition first launched in 2010 and has visited 125 cities so far and will be in Washington, D.C. until the end of August. Freedom of religion is guaranteed in Oman, where there has historically been peaceful coexistence among its diverse religious communities. And this exhibition offers visitors insight into the practices of Islam in the daily life of Omani society. For Oman Television, Hind Ibrahim, Washington.
A press conference on Sultan Qaboos Award for Culture, Arts and Literature was held in Tunisia. The conference addressed the award objectives in supporting Arab contributions in culture, arts, and literature fields, as it is calling for more scholars, intellectuals, and artists to engage in competing for the award. The award this year will focus on Arab contributions in travel, literature, social studies, and Arabic music. Oman refinery output increased by 3% as of the end of May compared to the same period last year. Statistics indicated that the refinery production of 91-octane fuel increased by 3% to exceed 6 million barrels, and its sale increased as well by 5%. Similarly, 95-octane fuel production increased by 14% and the sale jumped to 34%. Jet fuel production increased as well by 13% and liquefied petroleum gas recorded an increase by 8%. Still to come in our news bulletin. South Africa, like many developing countries, has placed a heavy bet on coal for its development, but campaign groups say health and climate costs are high. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. United Nations Security Council President Mansour Ayyad al-Otaibi today met with Iraq's President Barham Saleh during a one-day visit to the capital Baghdad in a bid to show solidarity with Iraq. Al-Otaibi is scheduled to meet with the Iraqi Prime Minister Adil Abdul Mahdi to discuss bilateral relations. During the meeting, the pair are expected to issue joint statements. According to Iraq's Foreign Affairs Ministry, the visit was made upon the invitation of the Iraqi government as tension builds up between Iran and the U.S. U.S.-China Business Council Vice President Jacob Parker said today that both the American high-tech and agriculture sectors are likely celebrating the trade truce reached between China and the U.S. during the G20 summit in Osaka. This comes after U.S. President Donald Trump announced that he had decided to hold off on imposing more tariffs on Chinese exports, while China planned to buy more American agricultural products. Trump and Xi agreed to cease fire today in their nation's year-long trade war, averting at least for now an escalation feared by financial markets, businesses, and farmers. Trump said that he would now allow U.S. companies to sell components to Huawei again, but was not willing to remove the Chinese telecom giant Huawei from a trade blacklist. The fate of the company had become central in the ongoing U.S.-China trade battle.
So this should give a great boost to...
The Group of 20 summit in Japan wrapped up today with the Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe urging world leaders to find common ground. The G20 agenda kicked off with a brief meeting on promoting the economic empowerment of women, one of Abe's missions since he took office in 2012. The leaders then began talks on other priorities, including the pressing issues of committing to faster progress in countering climate change. The G20 leaders have long sought to present a united front in promoting open markets and calling for smart policies to fend off threats to global economic growth. But the presence of issues such as protectionism and migration has strained their efforts. South African NGOs are taking the state to court, accusing it of violating people's constitutional right to a healthy environment. At the heart of the case is one of the most polluted areas in the world, the South African High Veld, a region where hundreds of people die prematurely from health issues. Here's a report.
The people of Mpumalelweni, a township in the Mpumalanga province, are suffocating. Asimale has been an asthmatic since she was 4 months old. Her mask is useless to her since medical oxygen is too expensive. Her mother feels like there is only one solution.
I wish to move away, yeah. I wish to move away because this place is not right.
A few streets away, Lifa suffers from the same symptoms. His breathing problems began when he moved to the Highveld region, 2 hours outside of Johannesburg.
I find it difficult to breathe. Sometimes I feel like I'm really going to die. It's bad.
The region alone produces 80% of South African coal and is one of the most polluted in the world. According to environmental groups, between 300 and 650 people die each year from respiratory diseases linked to pollution.
It's very clear that there are some people who come from other provinces, and when they get to Middelburg or around Highveld, they start getting sick because of respiratory illnesses, allergic rhinitis and all that. When they leave this area, we find that some of them get better.
The national electricity company Eskom owns the 12 coal plants in the region. Local activists say blame lies with the state because the South African constitution is one of the few globally that guarantees people's right to a healthy environment.
They are violating our rights. They are violating our right to clean air. They are violating our right to health. That's the truth.
According to the government, the air in the Highveld is already cleaner than it was a few years ago, but they admit that real improvement will take time. Sadly, for many patients, it may be too late to avoid the deadly effects of pollution.
Now for the general weather forecast around the Sultanate. Clear skies will prevail over most of the governorates with chances of low clouds and fog late at night and early morning over the coast of the Arabian Sea. Winds will be southeasterly to south light to moderate. Seas will be slight with a maximum wave height of 1.25 meters. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's news bulletin, here are the main points once again. In a new station, exhibition of Message of Islam from Oman is inaugurated in Washington. A press conference on Sultan Qaboos Award for Culture, Arts and Literature is held in Tunisia. And the Sultan's refineries and petroleum industries production increases by 3% as of the end of May 2019. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studios, thank you for watching and have a good night.